Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry for the delay in this being uploaded. We've had a few internet issues around the Nottingham area. Welcome to the virtual presentation for the 2019-2020 Player Awards for your league champions, the Hull Jets. As I've said, this is a virtual presentation. We're going to be using quite a bit of IT to make sure we can get through this. I'd just like to thank my production team of Michelle and Oliver, who have not only helped me produce the IT side of this thing, but also are busy recording and producing as we speak. So first of all, with no ado, let's introduce Andy Daintiff, who's going to talk to you about an update on what's gone on in the last season.
Hi everyone, I'm just putting together a bit of a season, Jets season 2019-2020, and talking about where we are and from where we've come from. First of all, I'd just like to say that I hope you're all safe and well. This virus will go away and we can get back to a bit of normality and play some more hockey, because I think a lot of us are missing out at the moment. I'd just like to talk about the Sharks committee and the Sharks themselves for the way they've supported the Jets this season. If it wasn't for the Sharks, there would be no Jets. I'd just like to thank Chris, Sanna, Mel, Ash for all the support that they've shown, because they're to aid in the success to the Jets this season and over the years before that. So a big thank you to all of them. Obviously during the 2019, before the 2019-2020 season started, we had a coaching change. Paul and Alan took over one of my junior assistant teams, the 18s, which has done a great job this year. Thank you very much, guys. They moved aside from the Jets, so I had to find a coach to help me, not just only with the off ice, but obviously with game days and stuff. So I approached a friend of mine, Mike Roddy, who was in a bar in Nottingham. We were playing in an over 35s competition, and we got into a discussion. I've liked Mike. I've known Mike for a long time. He's very, very good. Hockey knowledge is exceptional, and I wanted his help with regards to the Jets this season. So we had a long chat, a few drinks, and Mike decided to come on board. And without his help, also the Jets wouldn't have succeeded as well as they've done this season. We also asked Rachel Laycrock to help do the stats. Rachel's been doing that all season. She's done an absolute fantastic job. She too is a huge part of why we've done so well this year, the success. It's due to the fact of she takes the stats from everything, and she comes and tells us between periods. We can then liaise to the actual players where they're going wrong, what's happening, where we're going wrong, what we need to improve on. So a big thank you to Rachel. You're doing a fantastic job, and hopefully we'll see you back next season. I know you've got a wedding coming on, so congratulations on that. So obviously the three season year progression, what we've seen throughout the Jets is from 2017-2018 season, we reached the playoffs, something that we've never ever done. We reached the playoffs and we got beat on penalty shots by Widnes. It was a cracking game. Obviously going out on penalty shots is not a nice way to go out, but we really did make a success of that season, and we moved on to the next season, which was obviously 2018-2019. We reached the playoffs again, but then we reached the final, which was something we've never ever done. So we got beat in the final, but our success was actually reaching the final. Then we moved on to 2019 and 2020, which is obviously this season. It's just been a fantastic year. We won the league. Obviously the league had to be stopped due to the virus outbreak. But from our standpoint, we was in a well-commanding lead, position-wise, points-wise, and the success of winning the league was something that, we never thought we would do at the beginning of the season. But it just shows the determination and the heart that our players have to pull out a massive achievement for the club. We still haven't received the cup. That'll probably come God knows when. But when we do get it, we'll obviously party with the lads because they've deserved it. Obviously, the season has been stopped due to the fact of the virus, which is the correct thing to do under the circumstances. But our achievement this year has been just unbelievable, and it's due to the fact of our players, our off-ice staff, our managers and coaches, everybody, supporters. You've all played a huge part in the success of the Jets this year, and I can't thank you for that enough. Obviously, we had some really good wins. We had a few defeats. I think our best win was the 12-0 against Widnes, something that we would never ever thought we could achieve, but we did. And looking back, we just literally tear them apart. I think our worst defeat was beating Widnes 12-0, because we just seemed to go in a bit of a lull after that game for a couple of games. Expectations where we've beaten the best, so we probably can sit back a little bit, I don't know, but there was an area there where me and Mike thought we needed to pick up, and we did do. Obviously, congratulations to Richie Hagger. Richie finished, he's done the last 3 seasons, top point scorer in the league. Massive achievement for Richie, great kid, great character. And to have someone like Richie on our team is, I think any team would want a Richie Hagger. So congratulations to Richie, great achievement, pal. I just want to talk about the players that we have in our Jet side this year. We've got some seniors, we've got a lot of juniors who train up, who play, and it's down to the success and the ability of these particular players and what they bring to this side is why we've done so well this year. Our senior players, I can go through them all. They all add and all give something to this particular squad. And at any time, if a player's injured or can't work due to work commitments, there's always a player there to jump in and help out and fill in that spot. Also, the juniors have done exactly the same. They've jumped in, played some big time minutes for us. I'd like to say a big well done to Kieran Robinson. Kieran is a player that has come through the junior ranks, come to play through 20s, obviously playing Jets this season. He's played D, he's played forward, he's played wherever we've asked him to play. He's never moaned, shrugged his shoulders a few times, but he's got on with it. And that's why I give Kieran the award of the Trevor Isgate Head Coach's Award, due to the fact of he's just a fantastic player to have. He's progressed so well, and I expect more from him through the coming years. So congratulations to Kieran. You've done really, really well, pal, and just thank you for all your efforts, pal. We move on to, obviously, we was talking about the best wins and best defeats and stuff. We had a time when we was in Altrincham, I think it was in November, and it was like a turning point for us, really. We was 4-2 down. We was losing everything in zone wise. We was in a bit of a piddle. We took our time out. We had a discussion, and then we went on to win the game, 5-4 on penalty shots. For me, that was the biggest turnaround in the team. The Jets team from 4 years ago would have just given up, where you could see the belief and the passion in the guys to turn it around and to win the game. And that goes down to the success of the players that we've actually got in this side. Obviously, we got through I talked about the forwards and the defence that we've got in this team, and our goaltenders. We've got exceptional goaltending. When Dean got injured, we obviously brought in Warren Guilfoyle, so a big thanks to Warren to help us to keep progressing in the league. And then obviously Dean came back. We obviously had Ollie Goodman stepping in for a few games, and obviously being a backup to Dean and Warren. Thank you very much for that, Ollie. You've done a fantastic job. Defenseman wise, you look at Ali Foreman, you look at Danny Spence, Adam Simpson, Joe Anson, Tom Braley came in after Christmas. He's done an exceptional job. the list, it just goes on and on. We've got Boris, who's finished player, top player of the season, awarded best defender. Well done to Boris. You've done an absolute exceptional job, pal. It's nice to see you keep smiling all the time. And obviously with the juniors, we had Owen McKay, we had Kieran Fairlong, and and that's how, from our junior system point of view, they stepped in and put in some big time minutes. And obviously there was Kieran Robinson, who played D and forward. I keep saying that for Kieran because he did play D, he did play forward, but he never moaned and he just got on with it. Sorry for babbling, by the way, because I'm just trying to do stuff, looking around and looking at my phone and everything like this. So obviously then also we had Reggie Taylor. Reggie played D and forward. Reggie's been an exceptional player once again. He's just basically like a senior player. He puts in some big time minutes and he never looks out of place. So congratulations to Reg, because it's hard sometimes playing up and down, left and right, moving around like Kieran did, but you never moaned and you just got on with it. So well done, Reg. So if I do miss a player out, I'm ever so sorry, but I just don't like talking to a phone, to be honest. Then what we're going to do is we're just move on to our forwards, and then you look at our array of forwards that we've actually got and who we've got and how we got this. We picked up Mark Florence in the off season. Mark had been off for 5 years, I think, in the game. He decided he wanted to come back and play hockey again. Thought about refereeing, which Mark's not a referee, but then decided he wanted to play again. He rang me up and said, "What do you think? Do you think I'll be good enough?" My answer to Mark was, "Mate, what number do you want straight away?" When someone like Mark Florence rings you, you've got an A1 player, even though he's been out of the game for God knows how many years. And it showed this year. Mark has put in some great numbers for us. Great for the team, great for the changing room. Always listens. For a veteran like that, always still listens to what the coach tells him, and that's a significant achievement from Mark, because he probably knows more than me and Roddy, but he listens and he takes it on board and he gives good advice, and it's never negative from Mark, it's always positive, which is fantastic. So thank you for Mark for that. Hopefully we'll have most of the guys back for next season if the season actually starts. So we go for our forwards. Our forwards, like I said before, have just been unbelievable. They really have. You talk about our top line, or we're not talking about top line, one of our lines. You've got Richie Hagger, you've got Jay, and you've got Kieran. Fantastic players, give their all, and they've produced, and they've done that for the last 2 or 3 years. And then you move on to the likes of Mark Florence, Dan Hackford, Jamie Cobley is, fantastic in the change room. Jay's, I can't ever thank him for that. He knows how to calm people down, and he knows the correct things to say. Andy Ward stepped up as captain this year, has done a fantastic job. Very new to Andy, but he's kept hold of it, and he's responded by his decisions in the changing room, with our team meetings, which obviously we've had this year. And then obviously you got to Gowan Beddoes, you got to Tom Forrester, you got to Ryan Kemper. We picked up Ryan after Christmas. He left Widnes and came to us. I had Ryan as a junior, another fantastic player, and he added another bit of depth to us. So the more players that we was bringing in, it was always giving us more and more depth. So there was Kane Taylor. Kane was at Billingham last year. Kane decided wanted to play. He's come home, so he wanted to play a year at Jets. He's done absolutely fantastic, and thank you to him for his contribution. The list just goes on. Rob Perks. Rob came from Coventry. Long story with Rob. We come from Coventry. Been in the game for a long, long time, but he was really, really good. Really, really good on the power play. Always got in front. Always in the gritty areas. A very niggly player. Like confrontation. That's Rob's game, and he was another way why we were so successful, especially in the big time games. He liked to get in players' faces. He liked to be the niggly player, and I can't thank Rob enough, and his wife, for all the time and effort that they spent to travel to Hull to train and to play games, coming all the way from Coventry, which is a massive a massive ask, but he never moaned, and he always came, turned up and played his minutes. So thank you very much, Rob, for that. So then we'll move on to just basically a thank you really to a lot of our off-ice staff, which consisted of Rachel, Sally Staniforth, Thomas, who was doing all the DJing, Michelle Archer and Ken Thornton. Just like for what you've done this season with the off-ice, keeping the games going. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have been able to have a season. So thank you very much for your time and your effort. I'd like to thank the Bowaters, Jane and Dave, for the 50-50 that they did during the games before the start to raise a bit of money, so we could buy the beers and things like this. And I think that's about it, to be honest. I keep waffling on, don't I suppose, to be honest. But from my point of view, I'd just like to say thank you very much to everybody who's been a part of the Jets. I've thoroughly enjoyed it this season. I'd just like to thank Roddy and Barry, who are my two main partners in crime, for all the time and effort that they've put in. Yes, the workload has been horrendous. People don't realise running a hockey team how bad it is. It is time consuming. You reap the rewards when people listen. But I'd like to thank Mike and Barry especially for the efforts that they put in throughout the season to make this more professional, a professional outfit, which is the lads. This is what the lads wanted, and we have achieved our ultimate goal, which is the league. Which, we haven't won the league for a long, long time. So thank you to everybody. As I say, thank you to the Sharks. Thank you to the supporters. Thank you to, the players especially for the time and their effort that they put in. Thanks to Barry and Roddy for everything. I know I'm waffling on. I keep thinking I'm going to forget somebody. Thanks to obviously the Hull Arena for, giving us the opportunity to play out there. Keep the facility going under some weird times. But from my point, I'd just like to say I've enjoyed it. It's been brilliant. Hopefully we'll see everybody back. If we don't, for them players who don't return, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for everything that you've given to the Jets. Sad to see you go. It's past us new, but hopefully I'll see the majority back and we can play some Jets hockey next season, whenever that will be. Thank you very much for listening. I know I've waffled on and if I've missed someone out, I'm ever so sorry, but my mind's a shed sometimes. Just ask Roddy and Barry that. So thank you as much, guys. Hope you enjoy the sun. Take care. Bye.
Well, thanks for that, Andy. As we all know, Andy's never short of a few words or two. So let's get on with the first award of the evening, or the afternoon. There is a slight delay, as I've said, of uploading this onto Facebook due to local issues in the area. I know that because I'm pre-recording bits all over the place. So our first award then will be for the our league-winning Jets most improved defensive man, and that is the slider himself, Adam Simpson. Most improved defenseman of 2019-2020. Let's hear what the coaches had to say about him.
Most improved defenseman. It's been quite a tough choice, this one. I had to have a look at the stats on that, and one guy stood out especially for me. That's been Adam Simpson. Since Christmas, he hasn't conceded a goal in a single game he's played. He's been outstanding in the running, massive contribution defensively. So well done, Adam. Most improved defenseman.
Next award goes to Most Improved D. This goes to a player who is a very likeable player. He's liked by his teammates. He's produced for us this season on the ice. He hasn't put a foot wrong really. He's very, very coachable, always at training sessions. It's probably been his best year this season. So congratulations to Adam Simpson. Great season, pal.
Thanks, guys. Well done again, Adam. He can slide into the game anytime. Hopefully he'll be back next season. So let's move on to the next award of our virtual awards 2019-2020. The league winning Jets most improved forward is Tom Forrester. Let's see what the coaches said about old Tom.
Next up we've got most improved forward. Again, as I've already said, this is a very tough one given the quality of forwards that we've got. I want to give a special mention before I announce the winner to Kieran Robinson. An absolutely outstanding season, not only as a forward but also as a key. He's ineligible for this award, being under 20. But for me anyway, Tom Forster, I'm not going to like this one. I've been winning it about 3 or 4 years in a row. But this year, which is the only year I've had to judge it from, you come on leaps and bounds. You're getting power play time, you're getting short-handed time, you're getting that regular shift on the third line with Calvin and Ryan. You come on absolute leaps and bounds, pal, and you should be proud of yourself. So the most improved forward for me is Tom Forster. Well done.
Next award is most improved forward. This goes to a player who has just got better and better every single year, and his progression level has just gone through the roof. Great guy to coach on and off the ice. Has put some massive minutes on when it comes to power play time and short-handed. Has created a really good partnership with Gowan Beddoes. And it goes to Tom Forrester. Congratulations, Tom. Great season, pal.
Thank you.
Next up we've got most improved forward.
Bit of a hiccup there, I do apologise, I pressed the wrong button. So let's move on to the next one, which is the league winning Jets best defenceman. And that, without a shadow of doubt, is our very own Alex Foreman, who's had an absolutely fantastic season once again with the Jets. By 3 years with the club, he's always been the one that we can rely on and gives 100% on every game. Well done, Alex. Let's hear what the coaches had to say.
So this year defensively, we've been a great team. We've conceded under 3 goals a game on average. And that starts with the goaltenders who've been solid all year. All the defensemen have been great, and the forwards have all chipped in defensively as well. But for me, the one guy that stood out defensively has been Ollie Foreman. He's been solid. He's chipped in offensively when needed. He's had a great season. Well done, Ollie. Best defenseman.
Next award goes to Best D, goes to a player who is very cool inside his own zone, doesn't put a foot wrong, a very good leader on and off the ice, especially with our junior system players, always at training sessions, and he's a great guy to have on our bench. And this year it goes to Alex Foreman. Congratulations, Alex.
Once again, congratulations, Alex. We now move on to the league winning Jets best forward for season 2019-2020, and the winner is Dan Ackford. Let's hear what the coaches had to say.
So next up's best forward. On a team with the forwards we've got, this is a very tough decision. We're absolutely stacked on all three lines, sometimes 3 lines plus. You could look at players like Rich Hagger, who's had absolutely unbelievable season in terms of scoring and assisting. Kieran Beach has been a great player. Across all lines, Cobley towards the end of the year, absolutely outstanding. Our best player, put his point on the line. This one guy though, he's not necessarily had the most points, but he goes to the places that some forwards don't dare to go. He's great defensively. You put a puck in the corner, he'll win it every time. Goes to Dan Ackford. Congratulations, Dan.
Next award is best forward. This goes to a player who just loves to compete, always wins 50-50 battles in the corner. He's a pleasure to coach, doesn't say much, but when he's on the ice, he shows the determination that's winning this award. Always goes north-south, and it goes to Dan Ackford. Well done, Dan.
Congratulations, Dan, on winning that award of best forward. we move on now to the league-winning Jets player, and to introduce this, we have Andy Ward.
So it gives me great pleasure to announce the award for Players Player. It's been a strange end to the season, a fantastic season up to that point. And this guy turned up game in, game out, and was probably one of the best players in the league. Without a shadow of a doubt, the best forechecker in the league, and has the best vests and the best scoop pass and scoop shot you've ever seen. I've had the pleasure of playing with this guy for a long time, and it gives me great pleasure to announce the Players Player for Kingston Jets for 2020, Dan Hackford. Well done, pal.
Thanks, Andy, for that announcement. Dan Hackford is indeed our Players Player of the season. Just to point out to Andy, we are in fact the Hull Jets now. I know you're going back a few years and you've been around the scene a long time, but we are now the Hull Jets. And next we'll move on to the Coaches Player of the Year. As Andy and Rods have quite rightly said all the way through this presentation, we could have picked any one of you to get this Coaches Player. You've been outstanding all season, every one of you. But there only can be one winner of Coaches Player, and the winner of Coaches Player for season 2019-2020 is Kieran Beach. Let's hear once again from our coaches.
So last time we had the Coaches Player of the Year, and this award goes to a player who undoubtedly is, in my opinion, one of the best players in the league by far. But he's not getting this award on the basis of his playing ability. It goes down to the elements that he brings to this team, and that's his commitment to playing. His probably used half his holiday allocation to be able to play games on Saturday. And he's a team player. I've asked him to play in defence, I've asked him to play in forward. So everything I've asked of him, he can't spend any more than that as a coach. And this award goes to Kieran Beach. Well done, Kieran.
Next award is Coaches Player of the Year. This could have gone to anybody this season, but we gave it to a player who basically showed huge commitment throughout the season, i.e. work-wise, taking time off work to actually play hockey over a weekend. Great player on and off the ice, been with the club for a long time, plays north-south, puts in some huge minutes on the power play, short-handed, will play D, will play forward, a coach's dream player basically. And this year it goes to Kieran Beach. Well done, Kieran.
Thanks, guys. Yep, thanks, Kieran, for an excellent season. I know for the amount of times you've turned up when we've had a face-off at 5:15, you turned up at 5:20, having just finished a night shift or an early shift or whatever shift. You put in everything this season, mate. You've had a cracking season, as has the rest of the team. Really impressed. Now I'd like to move on and thank some of the junior players who, when needed, have had to step up for us. So I'm going to step out of the way and let you know about them. So Ollie Goodman has stepped up as netminder. He backed up Dino at the beginning of the season. Dino got injured, Warren came in, and Ollie got pushed to back him up. And then when Dino came back, Ollie continued in that role. Kieran Furlong has jumped in as well, played some excellent minutes up at Blackburn, where he was outstanding. Owen McKay, another good defenceman on the way. Unfortunately, he got injured in against Altrincham, breaking his collarbone. But just as he was about to make the cusp into a permanent slot on the team. But he'll be back and he'll come back next season strong. Reg has been with the Jets for 3 seasons now, and I count him as a regular Jet anyway. He acts the same as Kieran Robinson as well. These two guys, whilst they're still juniors, they are Jets. They have been for 3 years. They've served their apprenticeships with the Jets, sitting on the benches for long periods of times. But then when their spots have come available, they've jumped up to the plate. And Kieran especially has been outstanding this season, both forward and defence, for the Jets and for his under-20s team. And then finally you've got Ellis Martin. Unfortunately, Ellis's career, his production this season was restricted to the fact that he broke his ankle. So his opportunities to play for the Jets have been limited, but he's another one to watch out for, and he actually leaves the 20s this season, so Ellis and Kieran will both be looking for spots on the Jets team for next season. We'll have to see how they get on at the next trials before we start again. But I'd like to thank every one of the juniors, because whenever I've called them up, no matter where they've been, they've come out to us sometimes at very short notice. So thanks a lot, guys, all 6 of you. And anybody else I've forgotten that has been on the cusp, the ones that have trained up with us, you've all done an excellent job all season pushing the seniors for their positions. And then finally, I'd like to thank all my sponsors. Well, not my sponsors, but the Jet sponsors. It's simple as this: without you guys, there would not be a Hull Jets, because you help keep us on the ice. A way you can see on this slide is that they're the clubs that the companies that support us throughout the season. No matter how big or how little they support us, they're the ones that help us keep us on the ice. And on top of the sponsors, I put a massive thank you out to everybody of the off-ice team who help me out every week. Simple things like collecting beer, moving stuff around the rink for me, the water boys, the guys that pick up the pucks after the game. Rach Stork and her off-ice team, absolutely fantastic. She makes my life so easy on a game night, because she worries about all the off-ice stuff, and her off-ice team are fantastic. DJ Stanny has done a fantastic job, and I can see a future for him as an announcer within ice rinks, because he does a wonderful job. Let's just play it loud and play it proud, DJ Stanny, because that's the way I like it. Other members, Ken Thornton always turns up, always smiles unless he's on holiday in Spain. The Honey Badgers, who have come down and helped me out with 50-50s when Jane and David have been away. They've stepped in, done goal judging for me, done 50-50, sold magazines for me. Dave and Jane, it goes without anything that you two have helped me out non-stop. Yeah, little chats at the end of some games to calm me down, I think is the easiest way to say it, have really helped out. So thank you, Jane and David Bowater, excellent. Mark Spence as well. Mark Spence, who sends me loads of posters and does all the programmes for us at the weekends. And then finally to the unsung hero of the Hull Jets, because I couldn't do it without her, my lovely wife, Michelle. And so that's it from us, and that's the end of the presentation. I hope this has been a good way of doing it. Next time, hopefully, we'll do it in person. We'll have a few beers. We'll see you all back on the ice, hopefully sooner rather than later. But when we do see you, let's go and do it. Let's go and win the treble. Let's win the lot. See you all later, guys, and thanks for joining us.